it's like the Sha'Carri Richardson sequel is in play now. Standing up, fighting for the hood.
Yeah, I don't know. This
in the
one's a
face
little
of
bit
all
different
other
because
things.
you have a great a white woman heel involved with this. Sha'Carri was just fighting against the system. You have a straight white heel you are fighting directly against here.
So the heel turn for Caitlin Clark, I had set it up. So Caitlin Clark and
Well,
I can't
her
believe
heel turn was a long time ago. People just ain't never tripped off of it.
First of all, I can't believe that we're doing second main event talking about the women's Final Four. That's a storyline that I didn't see being something that was ever going to lead the show here. But hey, I'm equal opportunity if it's got some bite to it. Caitlin Clark went on a tear the last couple of weeks and absolutely ripped in half college basketball. Had people paying attention to it in a way that didn't make sense at all. Like, she's been getting busy for a couple of years now, to your point. People just getting used to it. But I think people wasn't used to the fact that she also would heel up on the court and would be talking shit in a way that you would not expect somebody named Caitlin Clark from Iowa.
She's been doing that, though. I mean, I went to Iowa State. I know she's been doing that.
She's been doing it. But meanwhile, on the other side of the tracks, you've had this LSU team and you had South Carolina team that just the dominant powerhouse in it. Her taking them down was incredible. You had this LSU team who's definitely for the culture that has had a great tournament run.
I think South Carolina would have been way more for the culture. That final, do you know how? Even the Caitlin Clark versus LSU was great for TV watching, but for like the culture, it would have been us 15%.
Oh my God, it would have been incredible. But if that would have happened, we wouldn't have had this. This
would have never happened.
This extraordinarily awkward culture debate that I think is happening. This is what I'm gonna call a bless your heart debate, because people are coming into something they don't know the front half of and getting really angry about it, like it's marginalization. And Angel Reese been saying it all year. She's been like, because I'm like this, you don't accept me, blah blah blah. And it's like, and that some of that is true. But I think in the context of saying that, the big debate came from Caitlin Clark using the "you can't see me," taunting people on the other team, refusing to guard the girl on South Carolina because she was like, she ain't gonna shoot it. And then saying that, it was celebrated when it was her, but now it's a problem when Angel Reese does it. That's not what, and I think that's burying the lead. That's not what's happening here. But people have started talking about what they think other people are doing instead of what's actually happening. So let's go back in time. Because I think I've seen this episode before. This feels like a reboot to me. This feels like when a white dude that played for the Indiana State Sycamores made a run.
This is exactly it, isn't it? Not? Is it not?
It sounds like a white dude in 1979 that plays for Indiana State Sycamores made a run to the national championship game and ran into a flavorful black dude that played for the Michigan State Spartans. And then he came up short, but in the long run, the entire sport elevated for it. And we still have people.
Good call out, man. Good call out.
We still have, and I'm talking about Larry Bird versus Magic Johnson when it kicked off in college. And it took off and it became the defining and still the most important rivalry in the history of sports. The most important rivalry in the history of sports, because without both of them going into the NBA and having the fanfare they had in college, the NBA is not what it is today. I don't care who came through. It's not. You had incredibly exciting players before Magic Johnson and before Larry Bird. And then those 25 or so years before that point in the NBA, it was all right. People watched. It was good. It was high quality basketball, but it wasn't the cultural phenomenon that came after that rivalry happened. And that rivalry took off because of race. It took off because of race. One dude went to Boston, one went to LA, and it kept on rolling. And now you still got a whole generation of brothers who refuse to interact with the Boston Celtics. In this very city of St. Louis, Missouri, who look at Jason Tatum, the greatest basketball player in the history of the city, and they say, I can't root for him all like that, though, because he played for the Celtics.
Dude, you talking about Nate? There's not just, this is, I don't know if any other team is racially disliked besides by black people as much as black people dislike the Boston Celtics.
So it's the Boston Celtics and Notre Dame. Those are the top two.
Or Duke. Or is it Duke?
It's a lot of brothers that like Duke. And
Duke kind of changed the corner a little bit when they start getting a lot more brothers. If this is pre-96, then we could say it was Duke.
I could go with that. But if it's pre-96, Duke also wouldn't have the prestige it's got now because Duke really took off in like a couple years before that. So it's hard. Yeah. Notre Dame got long legacy of nah. anything that's got the Irish in it, black dudes should be like,
That's it.
man, we
I don't.
man.
So Boston's got the Celtics, the Irish with the Shamrock.
I mean, even a brother as staunch as Bill Russell, but Bill Russell was like, man, I don't go back there. They couldn't even get Bill Russell to come back. So, like, that's the whole thing. But when I look at this, listen, I hear what people saying. I get it. I get the identity politics. I get all of that. I also, in my opinion, I'm seeing a lot of projection in this too. I'm seeing a lot of people projecting how they feel about way bigger topics onto this situation right here. And in my mind, being an ex-athlete, being somebody who has covered sports for the majority of my adult life, I just see two people competing with each other and going after. What I don't see is that Caitlin Clark, when she looked at Haley Van Lee and looked at her and told her to shut up, you down about 15 points. She talking to white girls and nobody talks more trash than her. But we've been here though.
Yeah, but this is good for women's basketball. I don't care what nobody says, because next year they got to have LSU versus Iowa in the first in the non-con.
Bruh, Caitlin Clark's got 2 more years of eligibility. She's making like millions and millions of dollars on the NIL right now. She should stay in college as long as she can. College women's basketball is pro basketball. This is pro basketball. More people are going to watch the women's Final Four in these games next year because of her than they're going to watch the WNBA. It's just facts. It just is what it is. Like, Brittany Griner went through everything she went through to get back over here and stuff like that, and that buzz has already died down. Like, people just, the WNBA don't move numbers like it does on this other side. But
do you think that this could be do you think this will be? I mean, I guess that's a hyperbolic question. Of what I'm saying. Do you think this can help kick off more love for women's basketball and expand into the WNBA?
So here's the thing that's got to happen.
With your analogy, I'm saying that your analogy took the NBA to the next level. Those two men literally took the NBA to the next level.
Yeah, exactly.
From that point, from that game to the up forward. Because what it would take beat Michigan State in the non-con earlier that season or something too.
Yes. So here's what it would take for this to happen: is that number one, Angel Reese has got to go to the WNBA and be a star. Like, she's got to go to the WNBA and be a star. And Caitlin Clark's got to go to the WNBA and be a star. If we're talking about if it's going to pick up women's sports in general, like have the same impact that Magic Johnson and Larry Bird had on college on professional basketball, they had to deliver at the next level, and people's interest had to follow it. So it was there already. But you also have a high level of talent right now just in college basketball in general. So, you have Haley Van Lee that was at Louisville. You had the twins at Miami that are doing numbers in the social media space and stuff like that. Like, that's another place that you can mobilize if they can hang professionally. The best player outside of maybe Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese is Paige Beckers, and she's been hurt this year, and that she's gonna come back next year. Like, you got a big surge of talent coming to the WNBA right now, but it's going to really take it. Sometimes it takes a defining rivalry that then transcends too. I would love for this whole hoopla we got about the "you can't see me" gate, or the "it's okay when they do it but not us," or hey, people don't like people that look like me but they rock with people that look like them. Like, hey, I'm cool with all that if it ends up generating dollars. Because after that, we getting into identity politics that can or cannot, may not be true. You know what I'm saying?
Every sports industry has been built and took it to the next level off of race. If you look at like big trending situations where they went up to the next level, where it was like, oh, it's all this, then it was like, oh, okay, everybody's kind of cool again. And then it's like, oh,
nothing generates dollars and interest in America like race. Nothing. Race politics makes it go. That's the easiest way to get through it. If you want to get something mobilized, have a white dude that white people get behind and a black dude that black people get behind and put them against each other. I just watched Rocky 3 yesterday. That's how it is. You got everybody that was cheering for Clubber Lang. He was the big villain. Rocky was the hero. You go back before that, you had Apollo Creed. He's the man. Rocky's the scrappy underdog. You got all these things that's happening. Man, that's what it's all about. That's just it. Like, I'd love to see two brothers in the Super Bowl playing against each other this year. But man, throw another white dude in there too. You're gonna get people that care in a way that they don't care. People don't like whole sports because they think that they not identify with their color. Think about old girl that was on there talking about soccer and you had to let her know what was up. Like, she didn't like an entire sport because she thought that it was a white sport. But that also goes back to the point that I've made in the past that y'all that don't watch sports don't know shit about sports. You just come in at the last second and throw stuff from other areas into the mix that ain't it. Caitlin Clark talked bad to white girls. She talked bad to black girls. Don't be mad at Caitlin Clark.
Shit talker in college basketball, period.
Don't be mad at Caitlin Clark for being who she is. When she ain't discriminating with the shit that she talking.
No, she ain't.
That's everybody else. And really, in this case, this is a situation of the black card being played, and somebody had an extra joker in their deck, and now you got to look and see if they reneged playing it. Because Angel Reese could have been talking about any black girl. This could have just been a light skin versus dark skin debate as easy as it is a white versus black.
So we shout out to our man J Dog. He said, "Give me one dog brother that went to Duke." I would like
Sheldon Williams.
the slumlord himself.
The slumlord.
I was not going to use him, but mine is not as good as that answer.
I don't know, man. It depends on what we defining. It depends on what we defining it as. Like that. I get the gist of what you're saying, my brother, but it really depends on what we defining it as. Like, are we talking about like?
If we're gonna go the other way, it's got to be
like Jason if Corliss Williamson played for Duke or something like that, or like.
No, I will go the other way. Dante Jones would be mine. I like to add in here is if you're talking about the other way, like a real brother, is Dante Jones. Now, the only thing about that is he was a transfer, and his best friend is Jason Williams.
What about Corey Maggette?
And that's how he got the Duke from Rutgers.
What about Corey Maggette? He from the
Corey Maggette he's a tricky one because he went to Fenwick.
That's true.
Dante Jones went to Billy Patterson.
Here's the thing. Jason Tatum would have went to U City though, but he was too good to go there.
That's true.
Like some of these cats,
also
like
Sean Dockery went to Julian in Southside Chicago before Duke.
Chris Duhon is from Slidell, Louisiana.
Oh shit!
And I'm sure I said that wrong too. But look. Yeah, no, but hey, trust me, I'm not going to sit on here and defend Duke. I'm with you, J Dog. I absolutely understand what you're saying, though, bro. I absolutely do. We can throw a little Kansas in there too if you want to, but they have some Kansas.
You know, once again, we go back to Notre Dame too, right? We can just throw Notre Dame.
We can just continue to always go back to Notre Dame. But my point that I'm making about this entire thing is that I think that we missing the mark here. I think that that what the real issue here about it is that if you look at Iowa and you look at this and you look at all that, you look at this team that played South Carolina, all white versus all black. It looked like Kentucky versus Texas Western or whatever it is like that. But that girl plays real black, Caitlin Clark, real black.
Oh, yeah.
Like you sit there and you look at Steph Curry. You can't say that she's Steph Curry that talks shit, basically.
Yeah, dude, she was coming up straight past half court, is pulling up. Like, and not waiting for her teammates to come down, nobody under the boards to say I'm pulling up.
But here's the thing. Everybody was loving her like 2 days ago. And then everybody else entered the chat. It was like, nuh-uh, not this white girl. And it's like, yo, we've been vibing with her. Like,
we've been messing with CC.
Multiple years. Like, what are y'all doing, man? Like, hey, listen, I'm going to say this. Stop coming and ruining good stuff with your opinions that belong on reality TV. I ain't having it. You're not finna come muddy sports up that way.
Well, also, there is a caveat to this that University of Iowa is one of the most sensitive fan bases in the nation as well, and there's a lot of salt in there with that. And they protect Caitlin Clark a lot, and they protect a lot of their players. And there's a very, very if people know my rival is University of Iowa, there's a big difference between the players that go to Iowa State and the ones that go to Iowa. And the ones that go to Iowa State temporarily, most of the time, have the black Oakland Raiders jerseys on, and the ones that typically go to University of Iowa in general have the away Oakland Raiders jerseys on.
Oh, no.
And that's how it's been for the last 30 years. They call, all the Iowa State players, the guys that do it the wrong way, thug you, transfer you, all those different things. So this is nothing new to see them get mad about these sisters out there doing their thing. I knew this was gonna happen.
This was a phenomenal women's tournament. I got everything I wanted.
It's better than the men's tournament.
You had an incredible, and that's saying a lot because the men's tournament's been awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but it's been. I mean, think about it.
It's been better. And for me to turn on like social media yesterday real quick to see how many people was tuned into it, I was like, yo, this is dope. Like, this is dope. So what I do hope.
Quick question before you go. I was thinking about asking you. Do you think this is the most highly rated women's national championship game? Probably.
Oh, I think without a doubt. I mean, the South Carolina game outdid NBA levels on ESPN. It outdrew any ESPN game all year. Like, I think without a doubt, this might be the most viewed women's tournament of all time. I can't even imagine how it's not.
Wow.
So,
okay.
So yeah, you hope that turns a corner. But like you said, all we need is a little good old fashioned race rivalry, and we can get anything going. But what I don't want to have come out of it is people start treating Caitlin Clark like she's the problem, because she's not. Angel
Reese either.
Yeah, it's not. Nobody's mad at her. Like, Angel, she got her thing. She got her thing is to be motivated by other people's assessments of her opinion or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool. I mean, for me, it just kind of looks like a lot of $200 debates on the internet. Like, oh, y'all don't like dark-skinned girls? Like, no, I mean, ain't nobody said that. You said that. You said it, so now other people believe in it, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like I got to pick a side in this one, and I'm not. I think both of them is dope, and they both got their own lanes.
Out the gate, first game, second, third game of the year, I'm doing Iowa versus LSU, like on Saturday at 7:00.
Yeah, like
October.
Like, I'm just like, all I'm saying is that I'm this ain't a situation, in my opinion, where you got to pick a side, because this should be an example of a high tide raising all ships. But just play the card. If you feel like you need to play the card, man, it's your card to play. But man,
and a lot of people that didn't watch women's basketball before this for real. So
a lot of people don't watch sports, or the people that always come into sports with the heaviest screens.
That's not even just women's basketball. That's general.
Remember all these people that stopped watching the NFL when Kaepernick got banned, but wasn't watching it beforehand anyway. So just remember that. You gotta.
Or people that said that soccer wasn't gonna, do anything. That wouldn't mean nothing.
Now before we go, I got one question for you though.
Yep.
In the sports verse here, because it's been real interesting to see what happens. Man, we got a lot of young brothers that's getting ready to come out in the NFL draft this year. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be awesome to see how that goes out. But you still got probably the best quarterback that's out there available is Lamar Jackson. And, how this whole thing is going. And people have brought this up, and I find it to be kind of an interesting topic. Do you think that Lamar Jackson's issues this offseason have come more from how he's approached it, his style of play, or is it truly being a blackball situation with owners in the league?
I think he's being blackballed not because of racially.
What's up, man? It's your boy, Matt. And if you enjoy this, click that subscribe, man, to get more content from SOLC right here from across the whole platform here, man. Get it right over there right now. Peace.